Hey guys, we made it. It's the end of the last week. Week 8 of the 8-week cut. High five, great. So today guys, I'm going to chat to you about the calories throughout the 8-week cycle, and then also the macronutrient component. So how did my carbs, my fats, and my protein change throughout the 8 weeks, and then also link to the kinds of workouts, intensity throughout the challenge as well, in relation to the calories that I was on and the macronutrients. So, and then also I will give you my final 8-week cut, body image, and then the last thing that you will be learning today is what am I going to do next. So let's get going. I'll tell you a story before it tells itself. Good morning, friends. It is Sunday, and it is the end of my bikini cut, and I'm at gym. It's Sunday, so yesterday I didn't gym, so it was more like a rest day, and today I'm just gonna do some cardio. I'm gonna listen to some podcasts, watch some YouTube, and do some cardio and some dedicated abs, and then I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna take my last little video update, and then I'll sit with you guys and kind of chat to you how I felt with the challenge. Did I really feel like I changed much? I'm actually going to weigh myself as well, because I haven't done that. So I'm just going to weigh myself out of interest sake. So let me go and do some cardio, and then I'll see you a bit later. Okay, so let's get started. Week 1 and week 2 were very similar. So my calorie intake for week 1 to week 2 was roughly just under 1,400 calories. So I was eating roughly 1,390 calories. My protein was around 115 grams. My fats were hovering around 33 grams, and my carbs were hovering around 155-ish. Okay, so quite high carbs, medium protein, low fats. Okay, then week 3 to week 4, my calories increased, and I was more in the 1,400 range, but like 1,404 calories, so not too much of a difference. My protein increased to around 130 grams of protein. My carbs were around 116 grams, and then my fats increased to around 50 grams. So week 3 to 4, my calories increased, my protein increased, my carbs decreased, and my fats increased. Week 5 to week 6, my calories went up some more, so I was hovering around 1,500 calories on average. My protein decreased to 118, 119. My carbs then went back up and actually went to the one of the highest. My carbs went up to about 150 grams of carbs, and my fats stayed the same. Then the final week that I've been on, week 7 and 8, my calories decreased all the way down again. So they were at like 1,500. They decreased to 1,300, and my protein increased to 133 grams. My carbs, they disappeared. They were at about 82 grams. And then my fats, high fat, so 87 grams of fats for my carbs. So I know that this was a lot, and I'm a very picture person, so I'm going to show you some graphs now, and then it'll make sense.
Okay, so this will be a lot easier. So if we just look at my calorie amount from the start. So I started at 1,394. I then decreased in week 2 to 1,375. Increased in week 3 to about 1,387 in week 4. And then that 5th to 6th week period, I significantly increased to 1,468 and then 1,500 on average. And then in the final week, dropped my calories low to 1,369, and that's where I ended off with my calories. So quite low, little bit of increase, significant increase, and then I dropped all the way back down. Then guys, if we have a look at my protein, started off week 1 at, what was this, 103 grams. I increased it was increased gradually, 117 grams to the highest, one of the highest at 134.5, then dropped back down slowly at week 6. I was eating 118 grams. Then in the final week, increased to 133 for my protein. Then if we have a look at my carbs, I'm so sorry, I dropped my laptop. I need it fixed. If we just have a look here, carbs started tapering quite rapidly off in the beginning. So I was at about 166 carbs, 147, week 3, 112, slight increase, 116, week 5 was 148, to then, what was this, week 6 was 153, and then dropped off. So then towards the end of, week 7 and week 8, I dropped all the way down from 153 to about 87.5 grams of carbs. So quite like, you could say like carb cycling, the low, the up, the low. And then the final one, my fats. My fats steadily increased throughout the challenge. So if we look at week 1, I was consuming around 35.5 grams of fat, slowly increases 37 to week 3, where it became 48 grams of fat. Week 4, 50, decreased a little, 46.5, and then towards week 8, slowly increasing to 50 grams, 56 grams, and then again 56 grams. So overall, fats increased throughout. Carbs, bit of a peak dip, so kind of maybe carb cycling. Protein increased quite a lot, and then slight decrease, and then increased again.
So those were my calorie fluctuations, protein, carbs, and fats throughout the 8 weeks. Now if we just go on to the kinds of style of training in correspondence to what my calories were at certain times. So in the beginning, when I had quite low calories, my exercise was quite high intensity, high reps, quite a lot of volume, and a lot of plyometrics. So really trying to burn as much as possible. And then in week 3, 4, and 5, as my calories were increasing, my workouts became lower reps, so I could push higher weights. So while I'm getting all the food, all the energy with the high calories, I was expending it because I was trying to go as hard and heavy as possible with the workouts. The cardio or the plyometrics decreased in those weeks when my calories were quite high. The cardio was optional, so there was cardio, 20-minute cardio. It was an optional cardio. I I may have done it sometimes, I may have not done it the other times. And then week 5 and 6, when my calories decreased again, still wasn't doing any plyometrics. I was still, the rep range was still quite low, 8 to 10, so still pushing as heavy as possible. So yeah, so in summary, as my calories were decreasing, my cardio, my plyometrics, and the reps that I was doing was quite high. And then when I had a very high calorie intake, my rep range and plyometrics decreased quite a bit, so I could push as heavy as possible because I had a lot of energy. And that still stayed the same in the last 2 weeks despite my calories being quite low. So yeah, that's the workout. So overall, I really enjoyed the challenge. I think it was nice for me to have someone to be accountable to, and a community to be accountable to as well. Personally, in my previous video, I mentioned that my problem areas I felt weren't being as focused on with that program. So I did tweak and adapt it. But that's fine, I can do that. So overall, I enjoyed everything. The food was amazing, quite a variety of food to eat, so no one would ever or should ever get bored. The app was amazing. So overall, the challenge was phenomenal. Where to now? So what I'm going to do now is comment down below if you'll be able to see a bigger difference than I could. But comparing my first week to now, there was a little bit of a difference. My weight stayed the same. I could see I slightly cut a little bit, but for me, if I'm eating 1,300 calories, I should have seen more of a change, in my opinion. So I just feel like maybe my metabolism needs a break, and I actually need to try and increase my metabolism. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase my calories up slowly, gradually up to about 2,000, maybe over, get my metabolism back, and then what I'll do is bulk. So obviously with more food, I can try and go as heavy as possible, try gain some muscle, so that then after maybe 2-3 months, I'll try another cut, and hopefully then there'll be more of a significant difference in my cuts. And also with having more muscle or more definition, you definitely do see a better change, because the more muscle you have, then it makes it more defined when you cut. So that is my plan. I'll document things here and there for you, but I want to get more into the educational side of things, talking and educating you and giving you guys the vital information about health and fitness that would benefit you from knowing, so I can use more of my knowledge for you. So that's more or less the way I want to go with my upcoming videos. There might be 1 or 2 other things along the way with regards to my journey with health and fitness, so I'll include you in on that, but I'm still busy looking into it at the moment. But I'll definitely include you in what I might be doing next. Drop comments down below if you think you might know of something that I might be working on or doing with regards to health and fitness. But I just want to say thank you guys so much, especially for those of you who have been with me since week 1 of this cut, and you've followed me every single Sunday on this little journey that I undertook. I really do appreciate all the love and support, and please don't forget to leave any comments down below on what kind of videos you do want to see next. so that I can make those videos for you and give you the best possible information out there. So without further ado, here is my last body update, week 8.